11 News, what the SARS epidemic means for families undergoing international adoptions. Also tonight, what life after CEO Don Carty is like at American Airlines. And a powerful new tool promises to make our area safer. Plus, what's the fate of plans to use marijuana for medical reasons right here in Missouri? In Hotwire, actor Ed Burns talks one-on-one to our Melody Moon about his new flick. And in Focus 11, why medical hot zones are getting more exposure with the SARS scare. WB11 News starts now. In mainland China, another 157 cases of SARS has been confirmed. The death toll now stands at 97. But even with all the fears surrounding the virus, it is not stopping people from adopting Chinese babies. WB11's Karen Shipman joins us with the story of a Wentzville family who just returned from China with some pretty special cargo. Karen?
Well, Katie, it took several weeks, but Cindy and Joel Ryberg have their new baby girl home safe, sound, and most importantly, healthy. Cindy Ryberg and her husband Joel are glad to be home. They left for China 2 weeks ago with very little fears about SARS. They just wanted to get 17-month-old Anna.
We just felt we had to go get her because, I mean, now with everything going on, it seems like they're stepping up precautions and canceling flights and things like that. So I think we made the right choice to go now.
Cindy is a nurse, and she says they did take some extra precautions.
We just tried to stay out of crowds. I mean, there was a couple tours that they took us on that we chose not to get off the bus. That was just what we felt was prudent and safe.
These children go through no special screening. Aside from a physical, there is nothing else done unless symptoms appear.
We're following the CDC guidelines. We're taking our temperature every day. You know, if we get any symptoms at all, we're going to contact our doctor.
The Rybergs are one of several hundred who are adopting children from China through the efforts of Children's Hope International. The agency says they've had no one back out because of the virus scare.
Some families are coming back and taking some precautions. For 10 days, they're staying away from family and staying away from their jobs. But in general, most people are coming back and just adjusting to their brand new family.
Now, adoptive families scheduled to travel to China in May have been given the option to wait a month. So far, no takers. As far as the Ryberg family is concerned, they're just looking forward to getting some sleep and getting back into a routine. Reporting from the Satellite Center, Karen Shipman, WB11 News.
Great story. Thanks a lot, Karen. An early morning accident claims the life of one man and injures 3 others. The accident happening around 4 this morning on Interstate 55 at the Merrimack Road overpass. Police say a southbound tractor-trailer tipped over and crushed this car. The victim is 46-year-old Andrew Martin of Iowa. He died at an area hospital. One other passenger in that car remains in serious condition tonight. At least 5 children are recovering tonight after a truck plowed into the rear of their school bus. The accident happened just before 3 this afternoon in the depressed section of Interstate 70 downtown. None of the children or drivers suffered any life-threatening injuries. So, brighter skies on the way for the weekend. Here is Gary Sides. Gary, even promises all week we wait through all the rain. We will have a nice weekend.
We will certainly try for that. We've been advertising sunshine and temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Rain will stay away, but not for long, so enjoy the weekend. Here is the lowdown as of late. We've had showers and storms throughout the afternoon, mainly just light rain here as we taper this off, and everything just kind of moving to the south, as you can see, just little pockets of drizzle here and there, all rotating around an area of low pressure. We know low pressure rotates counterclockwise. You can see that very easily picking this out in our satellite radar composite. With that system, we have plenty of clouds too, but there is a break in the clouds. Finally, that line breaking just to our north, and that clearing line means cooling for tonight. It also means some fog to wake up to tomorrow morning. Not necessarily cool temperatures throughout the afternoon, maybe just for the wake up tomorrow morning. Rain, like I said, will not stay away for long, though. You want to take a look at when your neighborhood should receive more rain. We'll take a look at that in the main weather segment.
Life after Saddam and Iraqi citizens continue their uphill climb. A former top Iraqi spy tried to escape across the border into Syria, but instead ended up in U.S. hands. Farouk Hijazi was captured last night at the Iraqi border. Also, CENTCOM commanders bring out their photo album for the media, showing a happy Iraqi populace. And more troops are coming home. Here's the very latest in today's developments. Captured Iraqi spy Farouk Hijazi is in for many hours of questioning. First, about a plot in the early 90s to assassinate then-President George Bush during a visit to Kuwait. He will also be grilled about contacts with al-Qaeda figures, possibly including Osama bin Laden. Also today, at the Pentagon briefing, still photos were shown of U.S. troops helping residents rebuild Iraq's infrastructure. They also displayed photos of Iraqi children happy to see the coalition forces and the inside of a Red Crescent van filled with communications equipment and weapons. 2 U.S. Navy cruisers that served in Operation Iraqi Freedom come home. The crew of the USS Mobile Bay and the USS Shiloh finished their 9-month deployment. The ships docked in San Diego amid a sea of banners, flowers, and loved ones. American airline flight attendants approve a new wage concession plan today after company officials sweeten the deal and a new CEO takes the helm. WB11's Jennifer Haynes has more.
American Airlines averted filing for Chapter 11 for the 3rd time this month. The Association of Professional Flight Attendants approved a new wage concession deal today. But American's new CEO, Gerald Arpey, says the company still has an uphill battle.
By any measure, we have our work cut out for us. We are not out of the woods yet.
The flight attendants were split on the concessions yesterday, but gave the deal its stamp of approval a day after former American CEO Donald Carty resigned. They approved the wage cuts after American agreed to reduce the terms of the deal from 6 years to 5 years and allow the contracts to be renegotiated after 3 years. American Airlines officials say today's concession will save the company $1.8 billion a year, and it will hopefully buy management more time to recover. RP admits some workers may lose their jobs, but praised the workers for their support. Flight attendants at Lambert Airport had mixed reactions.
I guess the alternative was bankruptcy, so I'm for it.
I have over 30 years with TWA, and this is not going to help my job in the near future. But ultimately, in the end, hopefully, we will get our jobs back.
Jennifer Haynes, WB11 News.
And earnings reports show that American lost $1 billion in just the last quarter. The Allied Pilots Association and the Transport Workers Union both finalized their deals on Thursday. Police search for clues after a mysterious shooting leaves 2 young men dead in Alton. It happened in the parking lot outside this bar early in the morning. 21-year-old Melvin Harris and 19-year-old Clyde Bailey were shot multiple times. Both men are from the St. Louis area. In fact, the younger victim is the son of a St. Louis homicide detective. Police are investigating whether a fight inside the bar may have led to that shooting. The Missouri budget battle is heating up in Jefferson City. State senators have rejected Governor Holden's tax plan that would have affected tobacco products, corporations, and the wealthy. Senate Republicans have come up with their own plan to raise revenues. It includes taxing pornography, illegal drugs, and Missouri gambling winnings of out-of-state residents. The National Kidney Foundation donor quilt is touring St. Louis. The quilt is a tribute to organ and tissue donors. The handmade quilt was designed by the family members of donors, and it's going to be on display through tomorrow out at West County Mall. Well, stick with us. Gary's back with his full weekend weather and what Missouri lawmakers are saying about medical marijuana use. Also, we have a closer look at a new tool that will help fight terrorism and why this actor is confident his next movie will be a hit. For the last 10 years, the military has been working on new ways to detect chemical and biological weapons. Now, a new system unveiled right here will help in this fight. WB11's Michelle Sullivan has more.
These brave men and women are among an elite group, handpicked by the military to fight terrorism on the front lines.
To be a member of the 375th requires some very unique qualifications in terms of talent, education, security, commitment on the part of the soldiers.
The 375th is made up of soldiers from St. Louis and 3 other states.
Come back to the state.
The unit is on the cutting edge of battlefield technology. They're the first in the country to use the Biological Integrated Detection System, or BIDS.
The detector sees something biological, tells the system, collect. You go back here,
The system will collect the air, put it into a solution. That solution is then put into an identifier.
The identifier is similar to a pregnancy test.
Looks for a control line. Once it sees a control line, it goes down and looks for a test line. If you got a test line, you have positive.
The technology is state-of-the-art, but without the soldier, the equipment may as well be useless. Each soldier will do a 6-hour shift, constantly monitoring for the presence of chemical and biological weapons.
The biological, like I said, is detect to warn. So, but the soldier is the critical key in all of this.
The BID system isn't just for the battlefield. Officials say chemical and biological weapons are a clear and present danger in the U.S., and this system will aid in homeland security. The Army has 35 of the mobile units, 10 of which are in St. Louis. Michelle Sullivan, WB11 News.
The amazing stuff. Legislation to legalize medical marijuana in Missouri will have to wait for another session. The bill's sponsor in the Missouri State Legislature is Representative Vicki Walker, but she says time just ran out to move this bill through the House. 8 states in the U.S. have already legalized marijuana for medical use. Okay, like we said, Gary's up with weather. Rich Gould has sports. We'll tell you why a triple blow could be crippling the Redbirds. Then in our Focus 11, why SARS isn't the only exotic disease to keep our medical radar screen on.
On tomorrow's Focus 11 report, this may not look like your ordinary school, but students have achieved a lot more here than just working towards their diploma. It's a story of success and triumph. Tomorrow on WB11 News at 9.
At GMC, being professional grade means you build a better SUV. That's why the GMC Yukon has the tightest turning radius in its class. Envoy XL has the most overall interior space in its class, and Envoy comes with more horsepower than any other midsize SUV. GMC, we are professional grade. Now get 0% APR or $3,000 cash back on all new 2003 GMC trucks and SUVs. See your professional grade Missouri, Illinois GMC dealers.
Welcome back. With all the attention lately on the SARS virus, health experts are looking at areas of high rates of disease. They're known as the hot zones. In tonight's Focus 11 report, WB11's Karen Shipman looks at the issue.
The world is full of hot zones, and sometimes they can strike close to home. According to SLU infectious disease expert Dr. Donald Kennedy, a hot zone was temporarily identified in the southwestern U.S. back in the early 80s.
We had hantavirus, which was identified in the United States for the first time as causing significant disease, and that virus is a different strain than other known hantaviruses. It's a viral strain that's probably unique to that area, that had never been seen before, never reported before.
Right now, Hong Kong is considered a hot zone for the SARS virus. Other countries include Vietnam, Singapore, and just recently Canada was termed a hot zone for SARS. SARS is at the forefront of many travelers' minds, but there are hot zones of different diseases all over the world. The hottest of these zones include countries like Botswana, Brazil, China, Congo, India, Niger, Senegal, Singapore, South Africa, and Zambia. Epidemic levels of cholera can be seen in these countries. Hepatitis A is also at epidemic levels in these countries. Almost all of the countries are hot zones for malaria, and even the plague could be seen in many of these nations. Dr. Kennedy says at this point, fear exceeds the risk in the United States when it comes to SARS or many other communicable diseases, but the U.S. is not risk-free.
There is clearly some risk in China and Hong Kong that's ongoing and continuous, that's not been eliminated. There would be risk to travelers to that area. There'd be risk for people that were exposed to people who'd been to that area, because this clearly is a communicable disease by close contact.
Dr. Kennedy says the best advice to stay healthy is to avoid travel to the hot zones. If you must go, prepare to be quarantined for at least 2 weeks. Karen Shipman, WB11 News.
Hi, I'm Weather Director Gary Seith. No sunshine today. Plenty of clouds. Boy, it was a wet one, a gloomy one, too. Let's take a look at our weather headlines for tonight. The sprinkles still lingering here and for the next maybe hour or two, and then things will quiet down overnight. The weekend shapes up pretty nicely, except for a little wake-up fog tomorrow morning. It'll actually start to burn off late in the morning hours, develop what we call a stratus deck, and then eventually we'll have some sunshine for the afternoon. Both Saturday and Sunday looking good, but the weekend is just a brief break away from the rain because it's back in the program here. In fact, the 5-day forecast is predominantly rain, and predominantly rain was the rule here today. We lingered with just rain here very late in the day, sprinkles and drizzle, all coming in on the backside of low pressure. So you're seeing this movement on our radar from the northeast to the southwest. Clouds socked us in and kept temperatures very steady this afternoon, but brought some much-needed rain. In fact, some of our southern communities, from Farmington back to Mount Vernon, had some 1 to 3 inch amounts from locally heavy thunderstorms in those areas. 4,200's officially at Lambert. That puts us nearly 4 inches for the month, which is above normal for the month. But for the year, we're still running a little shy. We're below 10 inches of rain, where we should be late in April, close to 11 inches of rain. Well, let's check it out. Temperatures only had about a 5-degree spread from the high and low, and that high occurred at about 12:30 a.m. very early on this morning, and currently 53 is the low temperature of the day, 70, 50 normal numbers for this time of year. Mold counts, they are way up courtesy of the rain. About 12,000 is the high category. Oak also high, but some of our tree pollen's coming down. Maple and sycamore both low. Mulberry is at high category at 94. You're looking at the backside of the area of low pressure that sponsored all this rain. It's spinning back off to our southeast now. It's bringing in plenty of cloud cover for tonight, although late, it looks like toward the morning hours, it'll actually start to dissipate, and with that, we'll start to cool off. But the cooling will also bring about some fog to develop in the morning hours, so you will not see any sunshine, at least to wake up to, but then sunshine by the afternoon, like I said. Let's check out regional temperatures right now because we are now looking at our coldest numbers of the day. And we're going to take a live look at Wydown Middle School in Clayton at 50 degrees. A live look also at Trinity Lutheran Edwardsville at 50, and also way on the edge of your screen, Triad Middle School at 48. Officially, Spirit of St. Louis Airport is reporting 53. Quick check on the surface maps, and we've got low pressure pushing out that brings the cloud cover for tonight, but high pressure brings the sunshine for tomorrow and for the remainder of the weekend. Finally, rain back in the program possibly by Monday night. My numbers for tonight look like this. With lows around 44, we should see patchy dense fog developing, then burning off tomorrow morning, then 68 the afternoon high. Sunshine, nice day. A nice day for Sunday, too, as temperatures top out at around 74 degrees or so. And we're looking at rain Monday into Tuesday. Even into Wednesday, we could see rain, and the best chance for rain looks like actually into Wednesday. So don't ditch the umbrella just yet because rain is going to be the predominant factor for the rest of the work week.
On the bright side, my allergies feel so much better today because it washed all that junk out of the air.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But I would like to see the sun sometime this week.
Who was sneezing in here today? It wasn't me. It wasn't you. Was it Gary? Somebody was sneezing.
It wasn't me.
I wasn't sneezing today.
Wasn't me.
I've been sneezing all week, though.
How about the Cardinals tonight? They finally got some runs for a pitcher.
Well,
Isn't
I'm
that
glad to hear
nice?
that.
Although these are tough times for the Birds, not only have they lost 5 straight games before tonight, they will also lose 2 players and a manager, and here's the reason why. Tino Martinez charged the mound Sunday after being hit by Arizona's Miguel Batista. Tino's fined and suspended 5 games. Martinez played tonight because he appealed. Batista got 10 games. Pissarro is suspended 3 games. Jeff Pissarro fined also for retaliating against Gonzo. And Tony La Russa gets a 1-game suspension and a fine because of that melee last Sunday. But then there's tonight. And Prince Albert Pujols, he can't throw, but he sure can hit a rocket to right field. Home run. That got the Cardinals off and running early, and they never did look back behind Brett Tomko. He worked very well and gave a bad bullpen the night off, thank goodness. Gave up a home run in the ninth, but that's okay, Brett. He gets the win. Edgar Renteria, a ton of big hits in South Florida. The opposite field double scores. Edmonds, everybody gets in the act tonight. It's easy. The final score, 9-2. It just did in. The NFL draft is tomorrow. The Rams pick 12th, and they have 11 picks overall. All across America, college football stars are battling nerves. What's the night before the draft like for players? Dan Eason has that story.
It sounds like an oxymoron. The night before the NFL draft is a night draft-eligible players dream about.
It was a great day, a great event for my family, for everybody.
And dread.
The uncertainty of it was kind of a little stressful, very stressful, as a matter of fact.
But draft day does eventually arrive, providing moments never to be forgotten. Virtually everyone remembers their draft number, no matter how high.
I was number 7, just behind Grant Wistrom.
Or how low.
I was drafted on pick number 205.
Once the player's number does get called, it's usually off to the nearest atlas because...
I had no idea where St. Louis, Missouri was because I didn't really know where Louisiana was.
This weekend, 262 players will be drafted. 262 lives will be changed. Of course, all of them would like to be high-round draft picks, but there are some hidden benefits for those who are not.
I didn't have to take anybody out because I was the only guy that year that got drafted, so I kind of kept quiet about the whole deal. I didn't have to take him out anywhere. You got to buy the dinners every week for the offensive line. And
Ever get a bill and look at it and go, oh my gosh?
Oh yeah.
Remember what the totals were?
Oh, they were up there.
Tomorrow, the dreams begin to become reality, no matter where a player gets selected. Dan Issa, WB11 News.
And there will be a ton of activity tomorrow at Rams Park. Here's more from the Blues post-mortem. Fans and media have been highly critical of Joel Quenneville's ability to motivate his players in big games. I asked Coach Q about a coach's responsibility to motivate. Here's what he said.
We expect everybody to play hard. I think this team played hard and played hard all the time. And whether it was the question is, do we not get the team motivated is something that I'll disagree with how we competed all year long. It's a terrible ending. Whatever you accomplish in the end like that, so there's nothing to feel good about.
Hockey tonight, Philadelphia and Ottawa. Strange game. Flyers had control after Tony Amonte scored on a high wrist shot. Then he feeds Sammy Kapanen. 2-0 Flyers, but Ottawa storms from behind with a strong second period. Does that sound familiar? They win 4-2. Don't you wish the Blues were playing tonight or tomorrow or whenever they might play?
I just hate watching that last goal in the Game 7.
Yeah, over and over, and we'll watch it probably until hockey season starts next year.
You're probably right. Thanks a lot, Rich. He wears many hats: director, writer, producer, and actor. But this time around, Ed Burns focuses on the acting. He stars opposite Dustin Hoffman and Andy Garcia in a brand new suspense drama called Confidence. Our WB11's Melanie Moon had a chance to talk to him one-on-one, and that's tonight's Hot Wire.
I can't be here! Then maybe you should go. What about the money? All right, guys, stop waving those things around.
In the new film Confidence, Ed Burns plays a polished grifter about to pull off the biggest con of his career.
Lying, cheating, manipulating, it all came very naturally to me.
Playing Jake was a big switch from Burns' usual nice guy roles.
This was a character that is nothing like me, so it was an opportunity to go and do something totally different.
The film also gave Burns the opportunity to star opposite Andy Garcia and Dustin Hoffman, who plays eccentric crime boss, the King.
So we're going to make an exchange of the money, and then all will be forgiven.
That I can't do.
You do not want to scare me, Junior.
You're always on day one a little bit in awe. But then soon after that, they just become Dustin and Andy and just great guys to work with.
For most of his big screen career, Burns has only starred in films that he wrote and directed. He's now enjoying the chance to let someone else call the shots.
It's nice to show up on a set and not have to worry about all the other things that you have to worry about when you're the director.
Confidence also stars Rachel Weisz. It opened in theaters today. Melanie Moon, WB11 News.
And that will do it for us tonight. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday evening. Friends is next. Have a great weekend.
Don't miss Will and Grace, now on weeknights at 10:30.